All right, we have a guest star today. This is Izzy. I don't know if you guys heard her on the last video. She was yelling she wanted in her room. I share the room with her, so she's going to join us for a little bit here. I don't know. She'll probably get off my lap in a little bit. This is where we left off, talking about exergonic reactions that release energy because they've got a decrease in the Gibbs free energy, meaning a decrease in the enthalpy of the system. Now, endergonic reactions, these are ones that require energy. We have to put energy in to get these to occur. So they're not going to occur spontaneously. The cell's actually going to have to do some work to cause these reactions to occur. And that's really, again, don't expect we're going to do a lot of calculations here. If we do, they're going to be pretty straightforward. Here's these values, solve for that one. But I don't anticipate a lot of calculations, right? So, two kinds of reactions, exergonic, endergonic. And that just tells us, do we have to put energy in, or is energy being released? Now, most reactions have what we call an activation energy. That means a small amount of energy is required to cause the reaction to occur. And your text talks about if you... you can't just have a bowl of table sugar sitting on the counter and it just spontaneously turns into fire. I mean, that's not going to work, right? We can't do that. You can't just have these glucose molecules in your cells just spontaneously emitting all this heat because there's all this energy available. There's energy available in those molecules, but they're stored in a way that's reasonably stable. We have to add energy to get those to get going. You have to apply some accelerant a lot of times to wood to generate enough heat, something that burns pretty quickly when you hit it with a spark. And that accelerant will generate enough heat then that will add the activation energy to the molecules within the wood, typically cellulose, allowing them to begin to burn. And then you have a more complete combustion. As cold as it is, some of you guys probably are taking advantage of that. If we look at that graphically here, this is from your text. You can see the activation energy. So if I start with wood or glucose and I burn that glucose, I'm going to release lots of energy. There's going to be lots of Gibbs free energy release to get from here to here, but you've got to add a little bit of energy to get it to the point where then it's going to release. So you have a net release of energy here as this reaction occurs. On the other hand, something where I've got to add energy in, I start with some kind of reactants like photosynthesis, where I'm starting with carbon dioxide and water. I'm adding a good amount of energy in, and then I end up with higher energy products. So again, I've stored energy then in the chemical bonds within the glucose molecules that something else can then use later. All right. Good place to pause here. Enzymes. You guys were hopefully ready for test one today. What are enzymes? You should be able to answer those quickly. Pause. If you need to go look up this knowledge, you need this knowledge. What are enzymes? Pause. Okay. Enzymes. These are proteins. Specifically, they allow certain reactions to occur. They aid in the reactions. What they're actually doing is they're changing the activation energy required for a reaction to occur. That's what enzymes do for us. That's why it's so important that we store this information in DNA on how to generate these proteins, because these proteins are what determines whether reactions occur and if they occur easily for us. And if we don't have certain enzymes, we can't process certain biomolecules and get the energy out of those that we need. But again, what an enzyme does for us, it lowers, you see this dotted path here, a lower activation energy required in the presence of an appropriate enzyme. And that's a nice place to stop. We'll pick up the next video there.